Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do a bit of a longer update today. I thought I'd go for a few of the sort of charts, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a few altcoins. It's been an insane day today, so took advantage. Got some good longs in, a few stops this morning, but due to tight risk, we got back in where we needed to, and yeah, ending up on a very high day so far. So I thought I'd go through the updates, what I've been sort of seeing throughout the day. Again, from the update yesterday, we did see the sort of bounces, the sort of structure patterns playing out. And yeah, it's going to be a very interesting end to the weekend. So let's get straight to it. So to start off on Bitcoin, again, didn't quite come down to the 78,000 region I wanted to see, but again, I sort of recognised the consolidation sort of at the range lows. Once we start getting to that sort of reclaim of the range at 79,000, sort of danced around it. The the sort of rejection from the sort of 80,000 was the sort of clue something was sort of changing, but again, until we reclaimed that, there was really no sort of chance along that. The only thing that made me long earlier was basically if I zoom into the chart, just to sort of share my thoughts, my teachings, and because it wasn't a straight sailing day. I did short this morning, sort of that loss of that sort of level. I did expect from there three wave up to come down to 78, then bounce. But again, we've had so much news today with the Trump in China of Xi Jinping and Elon Musk and the Nvidia CEO and Apple Tim Cook as well. So all these sort of events going on will trigger movements and moves that may not have happened if this wasn't going on. News does affect price action. So again, we're short, stopped out. I did attempt to long on sort of one of these sort of pumps here, again, stopped out. Got back in on sort of a rebound as we broke up above the 80,000. We stayed above that, so again, we just rode it up to what we are now. I've taken half my profits. I'm still riding sort of 50%, but again, 1.8% move, but again, I do leverage as well on top of that, so we are seeing a decent move. But in terms of what I see next, and if you're not in a position, what would you be looking for to get into a position? Quite simply, you just have to hold this level here. You're seeing wicks into it, but from an Elliott wave standpoint, again, I do practice Elliott wave, so you're looking at a potential 1-2-1-2 situation. So let me go through it. So again, you've got potentially a wave 3 to form here, consolidation up. Maximum I'd see 86,000 hit, but again, we'll do one step at a time. Again, the volume will be higher on this wave up, so that to me is a wave 3. Again, anything can happen. This is not guaranteed to keep pumping. So we've got a stop loss in profit. We've taken half profits here, but if you're looking for a new position, yeah, this would be your sort of best bet. And again, you would only take a position on the confirmation of that sort of level leg up. But until we get to that point, basically what I would be seeing is something like this. Again, as long as we hold above 81.3, wicks are allowed, but any sort of solid 4-hour closures below, even 81.2 I'd say would be if you start losing that and coming down here, we're going to fill these inefficiencies straight down to the 80,000 again. But if we hold here, absolutely nothing stopping us from going to 82.5, which is my next sort of take profit. If we flip that, I'll then look to get back into this, add to my position and just ride up to the 84, 86,000. Even from here, we could start seeing that sort of bump up. Potentially, again, this could form into a wave 4 triangle. But regardless, the probability is takeout. There's a lot of liquidity sat up here, so I expect that to be taken out. To be fair, I will show you the liquidity now. As long as it loads. So 82.3. Maybe can't quite do it. That's fine. But we have got liquidity so stacked up here. Again, it is stacking below, but again, we can fill these up beforehand. But again, I don't see it happening because we'll be losing key levels. I think from here it just makes sense to hold that high. keep rising up, let the liquidity liquidation from the sort of late longers stack up below, and then we can flush them all out later. I mean, that's what I am expecting. Yeah, but really good day today. So again, long and strong on Bitcoin. If we start losing 81 150, I would then look to potentially hedge with a short. I wouldn't close the long, of course. I would look to potentially hedge with a short while we're below that region, but until then, I can only see us getting up. Ethereum, what we're looking at. So again, not as strong as Bitcoin. I've said it for the last few videos. It's not catching that same bid as Bitcoin. It's being suppressed to some degree. I'm not sure the reason why. Potential channel sort of forming, which I'm sort of looking at the moment. Again, it's not clean, but again, you're getting that sort of potential bull flag in motion. But again, you've got a few sort of reactions here or there. As it stands, a reclaim of that sort of level, but not enough for me to long just yet. So potentially from here again, the target would be 2.6 to 7, I'd say. But it's a bull flag just below the range high. So yeah, again, if Bitcoin calms down, we get that sort of rotation into Ethereum. We should start seeing those sort of altcoin pumps, and that's evident from the. I'd say the Bitcoin dominance chart probably sums up better. But again, once we start getting that sort of yeah, it's what I saw earlier. So potential head and shoulder sort of pattern playing out. If we get that rejection here, so an ABC wave will just come down, altcoins will then pump, and Ethereum will get that sort of that bid. So that's what I'm looking at. USDT, again, it's going to be bearish, yeah. So again, we've just been dancing around that sort of low. You know, we haven't reclaimed it as such. We didn't reclaim the 7.3%. We've just rejected again. So again, from here, if we lose to sort of 7%, we're going to come down. Bitcoin's going to pump, Ethereum's going to pump, and we're just going to find support down to 6.6. That's when we start taking profit on our sort of longs in Bitcoin and crypto. Because from here, you'd expect to sort of at least a mini sort of reversal where we'll start seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum start to come back down again. But yeah, USDT dominance chart, very good to sort of refer to sort of tell us what we're looking at. Yeah, no, it's been a really good day. I think Solana was one. Oops, I got into this morning. Again, it's nothing fancy. It was touch and go at one point. All I sort of recognised was the Elliott wave completed sort of wave. So we had this sort of this sort of pattern form. Again, volume wave 3, bigger volume than the wave 5. So to me, the bull volume was picking up. You know what I mean? So it's a nice representation of what a true impulse looks like and a completed impulse. So I was quite confident. So with the guys this morning, we took the long sort of 91 sort of region. So as long as we hold above this order block here, I'm going to remain long. For those who didn't enter it, don't matter. We've got a retest. There's your opportunity. No excuse not to take that. And again, from that point, was it a 3% move? Yeah, 3.3% move on leverage. Again, it's a bit more. But yeah, again, we took half of the position. From now, we're sort of stuck around this order block here. But again, hopefully, if Bitcoin remains to be behaving, we'll see that reclaim and we'll just continue to ride it up and up and up. And again, from this point here, is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. You've got the heads, left shoulder, right shoulder up. There's a lot of confluence to taking that trade. So for those who did get in the group, well done. Super good trade. Yeah, again, we had a few small losses for like, I think we got into TAO, I think was one that didn't quite work out. But yeah, again, losses happen. But because my risk management is so tight, some of the stop losses are literally 0.3%, 0.5%, if that. So again, you can suffer 3 losses, 1% risk, and then make it back in one trade. So Solana already up 3%. You've nearly 2x the loss plus whatever more gains that return. So that's how I work. That's what's worked for me for all these years, and I'm not going to change that anytime soon. Um, okay, so moving on to ZEC. So overall, yeah, it doesn't look good. When Bitcoin's strong, ZEC is weak. As simple as that. We're seeing there's a head and shoulders pattern played out, and potentially still playing out. It's not done yet. Simply, you've got a lower low here below this low. You've got below that low. You've got a lower high below this sort of high. So as it stands, you've got no reason to be bullish or to long ZEC. For me, we've lost a key level here. You've got retest, retest, retest. Cluster, fuck around there. You've got this sort of order block here. So for me, even with Bitcoin's huge pump, ZEC dumped. So if Bitcoin does get that massive push beyond the 82 high, this is just going to continue down. On top of that, you've got this ABC correction, bearish. So what I'm looking for in ZEC is ideally the retest off this sort of key level here. And again, I'll look to short that down to the next sort of range low, which is 500. So it's going to be a good 8% move. So there's again, it'll be such a 9% move. It'll be such a good trade. So I'm being patient and I have to wait for that. Again, it may come tonight, may come tomorrow, but I reckon the Asian sort of open. Hopefully we get that wick up and we can start to short. Stop loss below the high. We shouldn't be taking that out. Again, we've taken the liquidity in this order block here. If you start to reclaim that, it's a different matter. We'll be going up to 590, but until until then, this is very much a bearish structure. Volume, yeah, nice breakup, but again, back into the range. I want to see it retested down again. The bear volume kicking in. But yeah, I mean the bull volume, even in these big moves up, it's not strong enough. The bear volume is very much outpacing it. To me, it looks like distribution. We're getting that U2 high. Bearish volume picking up, so now we're looking at that sort of, not studied it for a while, but with the distributions, you get the schematics. I think there's LSY. I'll go through it at another point, but basically it's the distribution on the top side. It sort of curls over into support. You get the little back test and you'll just continue down. Ultimately, if we lose this level here, huge fair value gap here to fill. We're going to be going down to the 440s. So don't be caught on ZEC long and every single long, because you're going to be caught out, and yeah, I don't want to see that for anyone. But yeah, so again, I share all these in my groups. Check the links. You've got the free group if you do use good amount of sort of stable coins. So I can offer it for free if you do trade using my link. If you do trade using my link, do sign up to the group. Use my codes and then send me a DM, and I'll be sure to add you back or add you into the group. There's also a paid group. It's one of the cheapest around. I like to keep it cheap just to make it available for people, but I share all my trades in there, so everyone can have a piece of what sort of trades we're looking at, what Bitcoin's saying daily, and you're getting daily updates. Every time zone I try and cover. Even my time, I'll wake up 2-3 in the morning to update if I see a good opportunity. So yeah, no, I've had a few people join up, so I really appreciate the support, guys. But yeah, keep it coming. It's really appreciated. So to summarize, bullish on Bitcoin over 81,150. Ideally, going to start seeing that sort of fifth wave to come up. But again, yeah, really good stuff. But again, it's going to completely depend on the Clarity Act, what happens with that. It's been purely positive from Trump trying to sort of visit. If anything turns in that, if anything sort of looks, so it's hawkish and bearish, then maybe we'll start seeing that sort of decline below. But I think we'll consolidate here for a few hours and then we'll break up. So again, you've got time to get into position if you're not in it at the moment. Just keep an eye on that sort of sideways consolidation. If you wick again into this area, 812, and hold it, that'll be your best risk to reward sort of entry point. And again, as we start to increase, I expect the volume to sort of taper off. So the ball volumes sort of start to drop. As we get into the sort of higher regions, I mean, the main thing I want to see done is the CME gap to be filled. I've been waiting for that for God knows how long. So I've marked it up here. It's nearly filled, but again, it's not filled. So that is going to be a gap. But you know, up to 83,750, this gap here, that needs to get filled. Once that is filled, tiny gap here, 93, but I don't think we're going to quite go that high. But you know, we've got a few below to watch out for. We've got one down at 70,000, 67, 5,000. Yeah, we can't ignore them. You know, CME gaps tend to get filled, and again, that'll just be when we get that. You know, I said it before. You know, I expect at some point to get a sort of corrective wave up, hit the 98, final wave down towards the end of the year, then we can get back up again. Yeah, so let's look at some meme coins. So Dogecoin broke out nice today. Has it sustained? So far, we're looking good above that sort of level. Basically, what I want to see to get into a strong position. So right now, we're wicking into these sort of order blocks here. So a bit of teaching for you guys. So basically, this here is a range from this low at 118 up to 1272. So let me show you. So this is all I do is just ranges. This is very much the meat and potatoes of my sort of analysis, and it's just a way to get a safe entry with coins and Bitcoin, etc. When things don't look so easy, ranges make it easier for you. On top of other sort of tips and tricks I use, but ranges are you have to learn them. Basically, what we're seeing now is we're wicking into this sort of range low. So again, what I want to see really is a wick up into the range low. We come back down to retest 117. If a strong bounce, we can then look to long here with, you know, the stop loss below it, and we just get that reclaim, and then we can potentially look to move all the way up to 1.3, which it's a good 10% move, I think. 9.99%, give or take 10%, yeah. But that is, you know, you can long now, but you know, what if the bear step in, it just falls back down? It's going to be it's an SFP, a swing failure pattern. Then you look to short it down, but again, it depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has to hold up for this to all play out. I would love nothing more than a meme season. The returns are ridiculous when we do get a fully fledged meme season. So that is the Dogecoin play. A few other ones. We've got Pepe. Again, it's going to be similar to Dogecoin. Yeah, again, weaker. So, yeah, it doesn't look as nice as Dogecoin, so I probably would avoid this in the interim. But rejected here from the order block, the 4.4 region. So again, if we get above 4.6, you could look for scalp up to 5.1, so it's a 8% move, and then up to 5.7, so 13% move. And you just continue to fall up and up and up until a reversal happens. But again, you look for reversals at the highs because that's where the liquidity sat. So if someone's shorted from here, their stop loss potentially may still be up here unless people move it down. So the liquidity is at that stop loss, and that's what people hunt for. So the whales will go for those liquidity spots. And that's the same with anything with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Very same situation. So yeah, XRP, for example, again, very popular coin. Yeah, really good trade today. Didn't quite get it myself, I'll be honest. I was waiting for a reclaim of this level here, but again, sometimes you get lost about it. It's one of those things, but you don't chase the green candles. You certainly won't be longing now as you go into resistance. You know what I mean? So what you would again wait for, reclaim above the level, retest it ideally, and then look to long it up to 1.6. That's still a 10% move. But if you long it here, what would you do if this started to happen? So say long the breakout, no stop loss. This is very possible. So you take the liquidity here. If there's not enough buyers to come in, you're just going to go back down again. So again, you wouldn't enter now. Again, it's very tempting, but again, just wait. Basically, the bigger or the quicker a candle moves up, it leaves inefficiencies or gaps, and those gaps will be filled as quickly on the way down because there's no liquidity or price action in the or liquidity in the order books to keep it from falling. If price is moving, there's gaps. There's no liquidity sat there to absorb it or to hold it. So if you've got these big gaps here, it's just going to fill it all, and just that's when you see the big spikes up when there's low liquidity. Again, yeah, I've got many videos to go through and sort of teach, what I mean when I say liquidity and fair value gaps and swing value patterns. But the more you watch, the more you'll sort of understand. So yeah, I hope you guys appreciate. Well, I hope the update helps you. Again, very good day. Again, if Bitcoin just continue to hold up of the 81150 region, it's going to be a fantastic end to the weekends, and yeah, we'll just see how we get on as we go into the Asian session. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to my voice with my updates. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, take care.